those who subscribe to ideals and they're deeply embedded in their thinking and in their guiding their actions, they'll consistently do things the right way. We've not yet built a critical number of those, because the moment that happens, definitely, as day follows night, there will be a shift, and we'll have the society that we desire to see happen. And therefore, anybody who is within the youth and want to see a shift in favor of what is right, that's what we have to work on. To know that there are people actually who are what they say they want to see happen. Because as long as there's a conflict between what we say and what we do, we'll keep seeing what happening continue. Because I mean, we have, like indeed, as I end, we have under 35, 75% of the population are youth under 35. I don't know how that is in terms of millions. About 30 million? This is a significant number. They can shift this country to where they want it to be. It can be shifted to being better than it is, but it can also be shifted to becoming worse than it is, depending on the divide, even in that 30 million people. Who are they? How do they think? What is their mindset? Because if out of 30, 25 million think that, it's our time to eat, as we saw in Kenya, then that's the trend that the country will take. But if 25 million out of 30 are saying, we have had enough, we must build a society where there is fairness, where there is justice, where there are equal opportunities, where there is transparency, that's the direction the country will take. Therefore, that's where we have to focus. Where is the majority? In leadership, regardless of age, the way we think. And therefore, there has to be a mindset shift. If we don't create that shift, it doesn't matter about age. Because you can be a thief at 80, you can be a thief at 40, you can be a thief at 18. Doesn't matter. Potentially, you can be a dictator at 80, at 50, at 35, even at 18. Because we've had that running through our history. 62, the two leaders, the key leaders, the late Dr. Milton Obote, the late Sakawaka Mutesa, one was 36, another one was 35. When we took power, the majority of us, those who were running this country down, were under 30. As was indicated, I was 28 when I took command of the army. Many of the generals you see now looting the country were below 35. So youth is not the question. It's character. So our hope is that being the majority, under 35 now being the majority, 75%, we hope that you'll concentrate on building character. And therefore we see transparent leaders. We see leaders who want to ensure that there is fairness. And then when you influence things in that direction, then we'll have shaped a better future. But if you are looking at saying, okay, things about shift, once we get in, that's our opportunity. That's what happened when we took power in 86. We thought we'd transform this society. Power has got its own temptations. We got in there. Many were sucked into a strong negative culture that exists in this country. And the rest is history. You can see what is happening. So those who are on the side of change, what is your mindset? When you get into power, what do you intend to do? It's not gender. It's not ethnic background, it's not religion, it's not age, it's mindset. Work on that. We will not give what we don't have. Whatever we desire to see, that's what we must build in ourselves.
Jesus spent 30 years preparing to work for 3 years. Actually, all the roaming around the Sea of Galilee was a 3-year operation. But you remember he spent years fasting. That's why he could tolerate the whipping. That's why he could tolerate being crucified, and that's why he could face the Roman Empire without blinking. You need to be prepared. There is a saying that it's attributed to Abraham Lincoln, that if he is given 6 hours to cut down a tree, he would spend 4 hours sharpening his axe. So, dear young people, however enthusiastic you are, don't attack a tree with a blunt axe. You will look very busy, you will sweat, definitely, but the tree will keep standing. Sharpen your axe. How do we sharpen your axe? Yesterday I was in Mukono and somebody asked me, you are Nacholi, you don't even have one atom of blood of Baganda. How did you learn very good Luganda? So I told them that I had to look for a teacher. There's a man who used to be the editor of Muno newspaper. He's called Simon Mwebe. I looked for him and I told him that I need to be able to communicate this with this community, which is quite dominant in the party I belong to. It was intentional. You are not going to be flipping channels, CNN, BBC, and you think you are educating yourself. You have got to be intentional. So I went to him with my small exercise book, Pick Fair, where I would record everything. I first had to master the tenses. You know, for our Nilotic tongue has a problem with some of these Bantu languages. You know, in Luganda they say Omusaja agenda, Akasaja kagenda, Ogusaja gugenda. Now for Anacholi would say Omusaja gugenda. So Anacholi, instead of saying Nzejendi, say Nzejeguli. And he will confidently insist that it is correct. So I was a graduate, but I had to humble myself to get what I thought was essential to be able to communicate effectively and persuade an important section of the party I lead. Even Acholi, I didn't know Acholi very well by 93 when I actually stormed the national political arena as a candidate for CA. I got a copy of the Acholi Bible and read it from cover to cover twice. The second time I read it aloud, my neighbors must have thought I had gone bonkers. So how many of you young people have the discipline? So as a result, when you see a dominant leader who appears to be so powerful, you then give an easy example. He has a powerful witch doctor. There's no witch doctor. When people are not seeing you, because for you think you must develop yourself in the open, on TV and so on. When you are alone, choose the skill sets that you need. Lastly, is the non-negotiables of your life. Which are yours? Because you join an organization because it reflects your values. You don't join an organization just because you think you can win through the organization. Many of the people right now defecting in political parties, as you know, yesterday our vice president for Eastern Uganda joined the group that is resisting change, the National Resistance Movement. And he said, you know, I've realized that I can't become an MP if I remain in DP. Such people are there. In any organization, organizations have parts that are like parts of a tree. Some are like leaves. The slightest wind will make them fly off. Others are like branches. Some branches are weak. When poverty weighs down on them, they'll break and fall off. So you must identify who are the roots of your movement. And I give this message to the alternative. Maybe in a few years or months, some of the people talking very strongly now will be saying something else. And you must not be surprised. You must not be surprised when you see somebody who is there talking about corruption of NRM finally says, I've seen the light. Now, there are 4 areas in which you must prepare yourself, and then I stop. Your health. as a person. If you abuse drugs and so on, obviously you're going to look 60 when you are 25. Mugisha Muntu is older than me. I think he has made 60. Does he look 60 by the stereotype of 60? Now you see, he is looking better than me at my age. I'm 53. No, I'm saying he has taken good care of his physical health. That's part of preparation. This running on the streets is not easy. You need energy. 2, cultivate your mind with the best possible ideas, either through reading or talking with people who make sense. And number 3, build your social skills. Some of the young people are so irritable. They are like cactus trees. You can't even get close to them. They are like thorns. They are like porcupines. Before you have finished a sentence, they're already arguing with you. Now, can you first state my argument? Then you answer it to show that you have understood it. And then finally, I'm a believer. I'm a Christian. I believe that we should not neglect the spiritual dimension of our lives. So in preparing yourself, prepare your body to be healthy. If you drink too much, it will begin to show. Eventually, you look like your habits. If you go to the street and you look at people, you can tell people's habits by what they look like, whether they are shaped like figure 6, they are shaped like figure 9, whatever. Eventually, you look like your habits. So, prepare your body, eat healthy, live healthy. 2, develop your mind, because the mind is like the soil. If you don't plant something good, weeds are always available to occupy any space. So don't let your mind becomes a chishaka, some bush. And your mind shouldn't be like a sponge. Even us, when we are talking to you, have a kind of sieve in your mind to decide whether I'm making sense. Don't let your mind be like a sponge that absorbs anything. You put it in a sewer, it absorbs. You put it in milk, it absorbs. You put it in this. So that is what I'm talking about. Think for yourself and develop the social dimension. Be nice. It doesn't hurt to be nice to people. Some of you think as an activist you must be rude, you must raise your voice, there are people like Mahatma Gandhi who never raised their voices and they changed the world. Mother Teresa, she was even a horrible speaker, by the way. But her conviction would always shine through. And then don't disconnect. Don't unplug from God. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairman.